Hello, Dr. Tawana Worlds by birth, also known as a disruptor. Did you know that millions who grow up in poverty also die in poverty? Have you ever heard the saying, what good can come out of the hood? Well, I'm here to disrupt for just a minute. Yes, I was that little girl that grew up in the hood, grew up in the ghetto, single mother, absent father, eating out of the trash can just to survive. But I was also that girl that determined way back then that I was not going to become a product of my past. And now I help others do the same thing. I'm not a victim, I'm a victor. I help men and women from similar backgrounds find value in their own vote and create wealth from within. Hey, there we go. What's going on, good people? What's going on? Give me 1 second. I'm about to print me my own paycheck right here on the live. Okay, so let me send myself something. Then I'm going to get all my cousins in the chat. I'm going to see if I'm going to be able to create a quick banger. Let's see. Hold on. Let me know who's tapping in and let me know how y'all doing while we waiting. All right. Y'all don't come on up in this house and be all silent and all shy and all rude. I said, let me know who's tapping in, okay? This is not for entertainment purposes. This is for truth, and I hope y'all paying attention. I hope y'all paying attention. You feel me? That's for sure. I got some receipts to pull up, even though I said I wasn't going to pull up these type of receipts no more. I think y'all need to check this out. Okay? So just bear with me for a moment. Okay? If you ain't going to speak, I'm going to pray you right on out of here in Jesus' holy, mighty name. If y'all not going to speak, I'm going to pray you right out of here, because one thing Dr. T would never, ever do is never, ever come to your house, social house, physical house, workplace, etc., and not speak. Okay? So I'm going to give y'all a few more minutes to figure out if you want to speak, shout yourself out so I can acknowledge you as a cousin, or if you want to get prayed out of here. You can have it your way like Burger King today, beloveds. Okay, there go one. Bye-bye. Anybody else? One thing is for sure, two things is for certain. The disrespect, okay, is unacceptable. It is not tolerated over here. Because as I stated, I'm never going to come into your dominion and not speak to you. That's what I'm talking about, D. Burton. What's going on, beloved? I just want to shout out my cousins. That's it. I want to know who's amongst me. That's it. And who I am amongst. Why does this keep doing this? Oh my gosh. You have got to be kidding me. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Oh, I hate when it does this. Let me get all of these kinks out the way. Then we're going to take off. I promise y'all. In lesser than 1 minute and 30 seconds, I'll be done. All right. Okay. All right. All right. Now I just need to take this over here like this here. What's going on, Brother Cliff? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And we family, let's greet each other. The Bible say we ought to greet each other with a holy kiss every time we meet. Every time we meet, every time I don't care if it's on social media. That's what I don't like about social media, to be honest with you. It gives people the advantage to hide behind a keyboard. And that's just crazy. You feel me? That is just absolutely crazy. People get on behind a keyboard, say all manner of things they wouldn't even say in person, and then just sit around and just be disrespectful. Let you peek into somebody's live or let you peek into somebody's life and come to a conclusion, judge a person. No, I don't like any of that. Okay. If we gon' rock, we gonna rock. All right, I'm done with that. Let me get my other cousins in the chat. And I'm not messed up about having one or two or three people here. I'm not. I'm not messed up about having 5 or 6, 7 people here. I'm not. It's always quality over quantity. Always. Okay. I've had my fair share of dealing with lots of people at a time, dealing with a little amount of people at a time. Both encounters, both experiences were very powerful. So I'm not messed up about that at all. Let me see what is going on over here. What's up? What's up? What's the problem? Because I want y'all to see how I'm going to print me some money right now. Let's see what's the problem here. I need y'all, feedback. I need y'all opinions. So let me go ahead and see if it's going. Some generations temporary unavailable. Oh, okay. So something going on with the thing. Let's try this one more again. It's a part of AI, y'all. It's a part of AI. AI is not perfect, and I keep trying to tell my cousins, ain't nothing to be afraid of with this thing. Let this thing take you, to deeper depths, higher heights in your, finances, in your family. Let it be able to do that. What is this? Okay. I'll try this one more time. And if it ain't working, it just ain't working. And we'll come back, spin the block next time I'm around. All right, let's see if that works. Out of all times, it don't want to work today. Really? 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 Let's see. What in the world? All right, let's get popping, y'all. Let's go. It keeps saying something going on over here, so I'm gonna leave that completely alone for now. Let me get my other cousins over here, and we're gonna get this thing popping and rocking, okay? Let me check one more thing over here on my. It's just being. Let me check one more thing because it might be the phone, but I want y'all to see something super simple. It's a stream that you can create for yourself, okay? People are becoming millionaires overnight, literally. And I want to show you what I'm talking about if it'll let me. If not, then hey, we'll have to go ahead and try this the next time because it's giving me an error message and saying it's not able to generate at this time. But I got something else to show y'all that everybody should be paying attention to. Everybody should be paying attention to. And I hate to say I told y'all so, but I told y'all so. And I will tell you this as well. I don't care what I say. I don't care what I got going on. If I see them coming for my people, I'm definitely gonna say something. The rest is up to you and not up to me. But I'm definitely gonna bring it to y'all attention, and I'm definitely gonna call it out. I'm definitely gonna say something and expose it. Disruptor does not mean something fancy or cute. No, it does not. It does not. It means that I come by to disrupt, real talk. And if you think this is a game, then I want you to think about if you've heard this. Some of you guys have, some of you guys have not. Some of you guys are not aware of the situation, but it's been, stated and reported. Yeah, something is going on right now saying that it's not able to do it. So we're going to move on past that. But there's been a lot of headlines about these 11 scientists. These are people who work with nuclear, have codes, secrets that you and I don't know about. Once they start recognizing things, regardless of how long they've been working for a particular company, organization, or whatever, once they start recognizing things, they begin to speak, and there's a shift in their character where now they want to warn people, let people know, and then they come up missing. Anybody and everybody that will put themselves, like, that is a sacrifice, whether you want to believe that or not. It comes with a sacrifice for you to not be afraid and to tell people the truth, puts a target on you. And we don't have to just, hear somebody saying that and say, oh, well, that could be true. No, we know that 1000%. People who have invented stuff that would help other people come up missing. They gone. Doctors who say, hey, there's a cure for this, out of here. Scientists that say, wait a minute, they didn't mess with something over here that could actually harm the whole entire planet. We better say something. Now they missing. Anybody that's speaking truth put themselves as a target. And you know what? They do not get paid for that. They sacrifice with their life to tell the truth. And that takes courage. There's three type of people in the world. There are people who see what's happening and turn a blinded eye. I don't want nothing to do with that. I see it, but I'm not going to say nothing about it. Because they fear that when they begin to speak up, even though they see it, they will be hated. It comes with the territory. It comes with the territory. And you got to be bold and courageous to be able to deal with that. Everybody is not able to deal with that. And then you have people that see the truth and they'll say it to a certain extent up until the moment somebody called them crazy. And it's normally their family who start calling them crazy. And then that shuts them down to further continue speaking the truth because their own family, those who supposed to support you, those who supposed to love you, they think they crazy. And then you have those who see it and who say it or who don't give a hot diggity dog what nobody feel about it. Okay, I'm the latter. Call me crazy, call me what you want to, okay? I'll take that. If you suffered like I suffered, then you'd be the same way. And sometimes people don't realize the intense amount of suffering and pain that somebody go through until you put in those shoes. I never forget a story about a woman and a man who said these people used to come by and knock on their door all the time, marching to stop gun violence in their community. They wouldn't even go open up the door. It didn't pertain to them. They had their nice life, their child. They was raising them in a positive family upbringing, and they didn't have it didn't apply to them. So whatever doesn't apply, let it fly. And this was year after year. They would just come by knocking, asking, the residents to come out and march with them. They weren't asking for no money. They weren't asking for anything but your support to come and stand in solidarity and make a statement that we as a community will not have this anymore because we have lost our children. Lady said, look, for years, I would see them come by. When I knew that they was coming by, shut the blinds. It didn't have nothing to do with me up until her child that she raised to be a law-abiding citizen, stand-down man, was on his way home and got caught up in between somebody else shooting and was struck and unalived. So now she was forced to be a part of that group. Now she understood what that group was really marching for. It didn't affect her until it affected her. And that's how most people is. If we know that a particular person, agency, organization is feeding children, 2,000 children, arsenic in milk containers, because arsenic and milk is the same color, same texture. And we watch 2,000 children pass away from being poisoned by arsenic. We would absolutely ride at dawn, sundown, sun up, noonday, no breaks, all gas, no breaks. But if it's just one being poisoned over here and one being poisoned over there, one being poisoned over here, yeah, so sorry, my condolences. There's no uproar. One is one too many. So when you begin to see things happening to a group of people and you didn't suffer from these people harming you so very bad that you can't even explain. And I got to be real transparent with y'all, okay? I'm sorry I forgot to ask y'all to share. If you don't mind sharing, that is the only cost of admission to listen to this voice and to watch my, whatever you want to call it, live stream. Is a simple share. Something that I'm talking about may not be for you, and that's cool. But it may be for somebody you know, or it could be for both. It doesn't cost you anything, no time, no money, no anything. It helps me reach the people that I'm supposed to reach. It helps push this video up and, and let the algorithm know, hey, this video is worth a share. It's worth showing up in somebody's feed. So that's the greatest thing that you can do for me. I'm always giving, whether that's information, resources, tools, opportunities. I'm always giving. So how you can give back, because that's what a relationship is a simple share. If you're here for the first time, welcome. If you always been a block, welcome back. Okay. With that being said, because I have been hurt by a system, I don't care telling on them. My eyes have been open to see what others cannot see because I was impacted by this system. Same way that lady and that man whose eyes were not open to see the pain and the support that other parents were wanting and needing from them until they were the parents in pain and wanted other support and solidarity to stand with them to stop something. So when I come by here, ain't nobody paying me at all. Not no government institution. I'm more so suppressed. I'm on their platforms. I don't own one of my own yet. So I'm using their platforms. When I ask you for a share, it's more than just you just doing a simple share. It's a statement that you will not shut me down. And it's a statement that you will not silence me. And it's a statement that I will tell anybody who will listen about your dirty works, okay? So I'm coming by here to tell y'all, I told y'all so because I never forget. I came by here over and over and over, especially when this report broke, okay? Lockdowns are not coming. They are here and they are now. We got energy lockdowns happening now, and we got another plan. You put the middle in, EMIC, okay? happening right now. And I'm about to show you where it came from, because I was sounding the alarm when it first broke. I told y'all this was coming 2 years ago. Before it came now, I told y'all 2 years ago, in 2024, when it broke. Y'all better be watching this. So understand why I don't care about talking about this. Understand why I do not care about letting you know what's coming for you. This is not a damn game. It's not. I'm in so much pain when I think about it. When I think about what they want to do to you, I don't care if I want to get up, if I don't. And like I said a minute ago, I lost my train of thought, but I got to be transparent with y'all. Every time that I got to face another year, another reality that, yeah, these kids are gone. And it's not like I idolize my children. They belong to God first, okay? He gave me stewardship over them. But what I'm most mad about is you ripped me off. I'm not mad that God saw fit to take them back home with him. I'm not mad about that. I'm mad that the enemy was in on this. And he used his wicked worldly systems to do this. And that you ripped my children off. No grandbabies. You ripped off. That wasn't just a child or a teenager that you took out. What about all the seeds and the offsprings that was in his loins? His last name cannot be carried on. That's for both of my sons. So when I see them coming for your children, my nephews and nieces, whether you want to admit that or not, we all family. When I see them coming for your kids, because they got nines. When I see them coming for your money, okay? Because that is how they use a system to get mines. A lack of knowledge, people perish. If you don't know what they're doing, then you damn sure gonna perish. Because you don't know. So I make it my business to come here and tell you. And every time that year comes around and you are reminded what has happened, the cost of the loss. Everybody don't bounce back from that. You see Dr. T on here, and I am a strong individual. I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I'm super strong. That's a gift God gave to me, the gift of strength. I didn't have babies, no pain medicine. Okay, I'm not a pain popper. I'll ride through this. I didn't been through some stuff. Y'all don't know half of it. Not even a teeny weeny little bitty, itty bitty piece of it. My whole life has been a training. If I told you, you think, girl, ain't no way in the world you went through that. So life has made me strong. I'm a strong individual. However, some days after those years come around, I don't want to get up. And that's not easy. I think the worst thing for a mother on earth to ever have to live with is something that lived inside of them, you gave life to, is now dead. And most people don't understand that the DNA of a child lives in the memory of the woman for a lifetime. So that's why some people are like, you can't get over that. That is the hardest thing that you ever would have to endure. The DNA of the child's memory live in your memory for a lifetime. And the DNA of the child that you carried, I don't care if that child is 50 years old, that lives in your system, your nervous system, all of that for about 17 years. And every time that I am faced with not one but two losses like that, it's not easy for me to get back up. And because I'm a leader, some people don't respect that. They'll still call me, still email me, still reach out to me, still think it's business as usual. And you don't even know that I just want to lay down and die in that moment. You don't even know that. And it's not because my children are dead. It's because something in me is dead. And how do you continue to try to live a normal life with something that lived and come from the inside of you? Comes from the male seed, but the woman is intertwined with the woman. The woman gives it life, it gives it nourishment, it gives it oxygen, it gives it everything. Your flesh of your flesh and bone of your bone in a real life situation. That's why a mother can stand her child in a room of 1,000 other children and know a distinctive cry from their own child. That's how a mother can know when their child is in danger without even being physically present. So it's very difficult to get up after something like that. And then you have to think about it. You have to deal with that every year. And some people say time heals all wounds, not in this space. When you start thinking about it, it's been 6 years, it's been 3 years, what they sound like, what they smell like, what would they look like? Oh, it is tormentive. It is very, very tormentive. And all you can think about is the day that they died. This was the worst day. All the traumatic memories, what you was doing, just floods you. So it's not an easy task. When I come by here, just so you know, I'm not on no bull sugar honey iced tea. I'm on an assignment and I'm on a mission. And it doesn't matter what I got going on. When I see them coming for you, I'm going to show up and I'm going to pull up just so that you can know. I can't save everybody. If I could, I would, but I can't. But one thing that I will do is I will sound the alarm. And if just one is saved, every single day, every single week, every single month, whatever. Okay, Song Creation is currently available. It's currently available for pro, and I'm a pro. So what are you talking about? Okay, I'm on the pro. I don't know what in the world y'all got going on. I'm still over here trying to do this. So don't mind me drifting off. I was looking at something that they said because I'm still trying to generate what it was I was trying to generate and see if it was fixed now. But I'm not on no dumb stuff. I don't have no ulterior motive. Okay. I haven't taken a paycheck from anything that I have done. I have been in build mode, and I told y'all this 2 years ago. I said all that so that now y'all can understand and see when I come by that I'm not on no bullcrap. That if God say this is what's coming, or pay attention to this because this is that, my due diligence is to share it with you. Because if I got bloody hands, what is this life if I stand before God and I am accused of harboring information and I got bloody hands? Yeah, that won't be me. When I get done with this life and all the hell that I have gone through, now I want to rest, okay, in peace in real life. Okay, so I am going to, since it finally worked, shout out to me for being determined to get this thing to work. But this is how I print money, and this is how you can print money too. This is what I was supposed to open with. Print your own paychecks, people, okay? And I'm going to show you why. If the internet allows you to print money, you ought to be printing it. People are becoming millionaires overnight from a prompt and a song, all created by AI in real life. Check it out. Oh, it's still spinning over here, so cool. Once it stops spinning, then I want y'all to hear a song I created with just a prompt and an AI tool called Suno. While I'm doing that, let me show you. Let me show you this. Okay. While that's over there still spinning, because I am determined. Let me show you what I'm showing you here on the screen. How many people have become millionaires and what they create ain't even real. Okay. First of all, Boto, who is an autonomous AI artist, has generated over 6 million in sales since 2021 by creating digital images. Okay? An AI artist, this is my sister, Zanaya Monet, signed $1 million, actually 4.5, that's multi-million dollar record deal using AI. Okay? This artist has made millions of dollars and is not even human. Hold on. Let me see where I'm going. Okay? This one right here. This, of course, again, is Zanaya Monet. Okay? It's also Caucasian. The ones that smile when they breaking up. I wasn't trying to go there. I was not trying to go there. But this is AI generated. Okay? This is an AI influencer singing a song that was made over here on this platform that I am sharing with you now. Why is it taking so long? I guess this thing is spazzing out today in real time. Like, I'm a pro creator, so my junk ought to be working. It still ain't, but at least it's spinning, and before it's all over with, I'm going to let y'all hear it. But I'm going to go ahead and get to what it is that I want to show you and stop lollygagging around. Let me pull it up over here. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yep, here we go. Hold on. Let's get this pulled up right here, right now. And if you don't mind, share. Please and thank you. I'm going to say that intermittently throughout the live because it's very important that we share. Headlines: hantavirus, right? It's now in the United States. It's in California. It is in Arizona. It is in Georgia. It is in Texas. And it's in another place. 5 places, right? They want us to believe that these people got onto a ship. And in the middle, I'm going to take myself off of camera because I know that it's going to start making me lag. Whenever I start sharing the screen, it starts making me lag. So I'm going to take myself off the camera so it's not using so much metadata or whatever that is causing me to go in and out. So let me take myself off the camera. And let me see how I can make this full screen. Boom. Okay. So, and for you guys over here, periodically I'll turn the camera around whenever I want you guys to see something. So they want us to believe that these people just got on this ship and then they got contaminated with the hantavirus. And these people died. It's a deadly disease. They said some people, got off the ship before um, the people who died. So now they tell us to be on alert because there are people who actually got off the ship before the quarantine was put into place after all these people dropped dead. I think 7 people dropped dead, like in a day. So they quarantined, but they said people had already got off the ship. And then for the rest of the people who was on the ship, they had to stay on the ship longer. They was kind of held hostage at sea. They were making videos, all of this stuff saying, hey, they just wanted to come home. They can quarantine there, whoop-de-whoop, blah, blah, blah. Now, what I want to show you is, hold on. Turn my camera around over here so y'all are able to see it too. In 2024, out of Australia, there was like 323 vials of deadly viruses that just, oops, went missing. We don't know where they are. We can't find them whatsoever. And here is the article, as you can see, December 2024. This was right around the time they said these research monkeys had escaped here in the United States, which they still have not found. Coronavirus came from a bat. Hantavirus comes from a rat. I'm going to take y'all and show y'all something else too. But I'm going to start right here because I told y'all way back when, get yourself something prepared because you're going to have to sit down again. First one was a trial run. Second one going to be the real deal because everything that is needed to run the second one is in place. The biometrics, the data center to monitor whether people are sitting down or not, the energy crisis lockdown, while the American government is telling everybody all is well. No, 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 no. We are using from our oil reserve that was already halfway empty. We about to see prices beyond affordable. I said this before, I'll say it again. If you want to know what's coming in your tomorrow, then look at what's happening to others today. Korea, North Korea, all these, you think Spirit Airlines just went out of business because they was done? No, they said we can't afford oil. It was so bad that they had to tell their people over the microphone at 3 a.m. there's no more flights. People are stranded. Delta is trying to fit in. American Airlines trying to fit in and help people at least get to the house. What about their paychecks? And I've been sounding the alarm for a very long time so that people wouldn't end up in this position. And then I want you to think real deeply. Okay, you ain't got to go too deep, but deeply. What is the majority of the nationalities that fly as far as crew members on Spirit Airlines? And I'm going somewhere with this. I just want you to know I am. Because I tell a particular group of people, you the first to get hit and the last to get help. And they think that that is just baloney. But I told y'all right here, we're hundreds of vials of deadly viruses. Now, what are y'all doing collecting and storing hundreds of vials of deadly viruses? What in the name of the Lord is y'all doing? Y'all out here playing God. Why would you be creating? Why would you be making, harvesting? Why would you be holding? And why? Who gonna break in and say, look, we finna steal these viruses? What kind of crook gonna do that? Oh yeah, come on, let's come in and steal these viruses. Okay? But I'm showing you this for a reason. People be thinking that these people is their friends and they not. They are so not your friend. So not. Okay? Hold on. Because I want you to see what's inside of this article. I'm going to read it to y'all over here, so I ain't got to keep turning the camera because it's... Queensland Health Minister Tim Nichols announced today, that 323 samples of live viruses, including the Hendra virus, the Lissa virus, and the Hunter virus, went missing in 2021. They didn't let us know until 2024. But these went missing in 2021 in a serious breach of biosecurity protocols. The breach was discovered in August 2023, with nearly 100 of the missing vials containing Hendra virus, which is deadly, and 2 of the vials contain hantavirus, while 223 vials contain samples of the Lissa virus. So I want y'all to see where this coming from, who's doing this, because it sure ain't God. Sure not God. God ain't doing this. How all those years ago y'all was messing around with this stuff and making this stuff and creating this stuff and holding it in a lab, and then it went missing. And I told y'all that this was coming. And now here we are in 2026. Now I want y'all to see that again, okay? Hantavirus was among the hundreds of vials of deadly viruses that was missing after a lab breach. Do you know only government officials are able to do something like this? We will go to underneath the prison if we ever tried to create a lab or something like that with some deadly viruses. We will be underneath the prison for making biochemical weapons. So you know this wasn't no regular civilian, no regular citizen. You know exactly who DNA is all over this. Okay? So now we're going to go keep on moving real quick. Try to move through this real quick. Let me see what's coming up next. Hold on. Let me come on down here. Okay. 23 passengers from the hantavirus infected cruise ship have now returned home, including to the U.S. And one person is already reportedly sick. It's 5 people now. 3 in California, 2 in Georgia, like 1 in Arizona. It's a lot of them. Okay. Now just all of a sudden, they're sick. They're doing quarantines. They need to know, who you was around. They let you come back home after they knew you was on that boat with people that were sick and dying. Same thing happened with COVID. Same thing happened with COVID. They let y'all fly. Okay? Let you fly. I was going to click on this to open this up, but it's just more details about this hantavirus and what they got going on, okay? Breaking U.S. monitoring hantavirus cruise passengers back in the United States. Y'all know exactly what y'all was doing letting them people come here. And you won't disclose exactly what cities they in. You just tell us the states. But you won't disclose what cities they are in, right? But you tell us you monitoring it. Okay? I don't think so. And you know what? This affects your immune system, your respiratory system again. That's that's how it's just taking the people out. It's real stinking deadly. Let me go up here and see where this other article is. So I definitely wanted to show y'all that, but I have something else to show you. Yeah, let me let y'all look at this. Get a better understanding. Let me let him break it down. Let me stop the share over here real quick, and then let me come back over here. All right, turn up the volume, turn up the volume, turn up the volume. Here we go.
Seen the previews for COVID Part 2? It's called Hantavirus. It starts off with a bunch of people stranded on a cruise ship. You know, like COVID did. And tragically, a few of the passengers have been infected with a virus that affects your lungs, like in COVID Part 1. In the original, that virus came from bats, but in the sequel, it comes from rats. So at least that's different. Though they are both rodents. I guess it's true what they say. Hollywood just keeps making the same movies over and over again. They must be running out of ideas. Either that, or they think you're so stupid that they don't even bother coming up with new lies. To be fair, though, they're correct. I mean, you've believed Iran was totally almost about to get a nuclear weapon for over 20 years, along with a bunch of other shit that only makes sense if you don't think about it. Clearly, you'll buy whatever they try and sell you. So why wouldn't they stick to the regularly scheduled programming? After all, you do. But I digress. Anyway, if you hate pattern recognition and lack common sense, then grab your masks and prepare for another exciting round of vaccines, because Hantavirus is coming soon to a theater near you. Hold up. Just to be clear, there are a bunch of people stuck on a boat due to an airborne virus which affects your lungs and supposedly originated from rodents. They already tried to give you a sequel to George Floyd with Ronda Rousey, or not Ronda Rousey. What's the bitch's name that I shot? Who cares? Anyway, point is, now they are trying to run back COVID, and it's also all happening during an election year. I would say you can't make this shit up, but... Have you seen the previews for COVID Part 2? It's called Hantavirus. It starts off with a bunch of people stranded.
So, cousins, just so you know, all of this is happening. Okay, primaries are coming up. If there is some type of pandemic, if we are at war, we suspend elections. That's what Donald Trump said. Trump gets his third term, okay? Continues on with this biometric surveillance. Let me show you what Trump is doing. Let me show y'all what Trump is doing. Trump is showing off. I mean, he's doing a dang on thing. Let me make sure y'all can see over here. I don't know why this thing goes really small. Hold on one second. So I need to fix this. Okay, cool. Let me show y'all what Mr. Trump is out here doing in these streets. First of all, Mr. Trump, let me blow this one up for you real big so y'all can see what Mr. Trump is doing. Trump executive orders will force Americans to surrender biometric data or lose access to the bank accounts. Well, would you look at this here? Didn't I tell y'all when they were doing this in Mexico? And I was telling y'all that you can't have a bank account in Mexico. You can't have a cell phone in Mexico. You can't buy oil in Mexico, gas. You can't ride on their tolls in Mexico unless you have biometric data, also known as digital ID. Well, now Mr. Trump says you can't have a bank account. Whether you are a new bank account or you are a previous bank account owner, you must have or you must surrender to the biometric data or lose your bank accounts. Y'all paying attention yet? You ain't gonna have sugar, honey, iced tea in a minute. You ain't gonna have no bank accounts. You ain't gonna be able to buy no home. You ain't gonna be able to own nothing. You ain't gonna be able to have anything. Are y'all paying attention yet? And if you think this is fake, just because you see, like the little, looks like it's AI generated. No, go to Google. Don't flatter yourself. Go to Google. Google will definitely pull it up for you. Okay? Go to Google. That's what I did. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is preparing banks to collect citizenship data. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent tells CNBC Sarah's Einstein at the Invest in America Forum on Wednesday that the Trump administration expects banks to comply with a mandate to collect citizen data. The administration has been considering an executive order to require banks to request additional documents from customers, and earlier this week, Bessent indicated the EO is coming. Banks are required to collect information through Know Your Customer rules, but have pushed back against this plan. But Bessent told CNBC if Treasury and the banking regulators say it's their job, it's their job. Wait till I show you the cat. Okay. He said if Treasury and the banking regulators say it's their job, it's their job. So you, brothers and sisters, will be forced to scan your iris. That's what biometric is. Thumbprint, iris scan. Okay. We need to know that you really a citizen. This is what they doing it for. We need to know if you really a migrant or a citizen. That's what they say. In order for migrants to stop getting access to our banking system, we need everybody to be a part of this system to make sure that you are eligible to receive a bank account, or do business in America as a citizen. It's a trap. Okay? It's 1,000% a trap. Why do everybody got to participate? You can just go and see who's a citizen or who's not. Give them your social security number or something. And then I'm like, okay, well, what do they got going on right here? Because Mr. Trump ordered all nonprofit libraries. You used to be able to go to the library and do your passports. Can't anymore. Ain't no CVS is able to do processing. No libraries able to do no processing for no passports. And I'm just wondering why. What's the big urgency that you just say, hey, look, all of y'all, I think it's like 100 of them. The U.S. State Department has ordered certain public libraries nationwide to cease processing passport applications, disrupting a long-standing service that librarians say their communities have come to so that they can get passports done properly. Why in the HE double hockey sticks would you be trying to stop people from getting a passport? This ain't got nothing to do with citizenship. We need to make this make sense. And then I said, wait a minute, hold up. Let me go on up here somewhere. Then I was like, okay, hold on. This is how many grocery stores is going to close in 2026. Did y'all know this? Or am I the only one who was 2 days ago old and found this out? 7,900 grocery stores projected to close in 2026, driven by a shift towards e-commerce from brick and mortar to click and order. Oh, e-commerce, you'll be able to shop and have all your stuff ordered ordered online, delivered. Shifting consumer habits and restructuring of underperforming locations. Okay, while not all are grocery stores, the retail sector, including supermarkets, is consolidating to increase its efficiency. Over 1,200 grocery stores have already confirmed their closures. That is really, really weird. If we are growing in the population, why would you close down that many grocery stores? How are we supposed to eat? Are we going to only be able to go to y'all grocery stores and eat? Oh, okay. We're not going to be able to go to a traditional grocery store. We're going to have to go to the ones that y'all have. Okay. Major U.S. retailers to close stores nationwide in May. What? In May. Store formats, industry projections suggest roughly 7,900 U.S. stores will close in 2026, with over 1,200 already confirmed closed. Why is this not mainstream news? Y'all paying attention yet? Are y'all paying attention? Or I just got a couple more. Maybe these ones will wake you and shake you, okay? Because they always come for you first. The news is coming out calling for reports for Black people in America to learn AI so that you will be able to reduce the racial wealth gap. I'm telling you, you're going to become so wickedly poor. It's not even funny. When you breathe, it's going to be poor breath. And the news people are calling for Black people to get involved and literally save themselves. Literally. And you want to know why? Because it is. TikTok has scammed the heck out of Black people, content creators, producing them billions of dollars every single day. And it ain't just Black, but Blacks take the hit first and the worst in everything. Black creators are taking the hit hardest. A lot of creators are calling TikTok out now. They produce an original content. And then AI, little algorithm is like, oh, this is not original content. After they got all these views because they pay you for content. 50-50 split. You got 1 million views, that's going to be about a $6,000 check. You're going to get 3, they're going to get 3. But they didn't create their own ecosystem. TikTok owns this platform. So Black creators have documented years of suppressed reach and uneven enforcement. The originality flag in 2026 is the newest version of that same pattern. The dancers who choreographed went viral is now the one getting flagged for posting her own original version. And so many stories that are similar. So many. Okay, we're going to keep it moving. Keep it moving and keep it grooving. And here's that. Y'all can read that screenshot. It. TikTok is quietly disqualifying original creators from the Creator Reward Program for unoriginal content they actually created themselves. Okay? Creators are flooding the app with complaints right now. They built original content. They paid for editing, software. They posted consistently to qualify for the program. Then TikTok hit them with the disqualifications and removed their accounts from the reward system entirely. The reason given is unoriginal content. The content is theirs 100%. The flag is wrong. The disqualification still stands. Okay? Talk about how it operates on a 50-50. Black creators are getting hit the hardest. Same pattern as every other algorithmic enforcement on TikTok. And like I said, the dancers who choreography was stolen, or it was hers, and then TikTok says it wasn't, and they stole the revenue. Yeah, they stole the revenue. It's a legal way for them to steal. But it just gets better and better and better and better. Hold on one second. Let me scroll on up here. Come on back down there. Let me let y'all listen to this. Let me close this out. And while she's talking, I'm going to let her do her thing. Now, I don't like anybody on the political side. I don't. Okay. They're all full of baloney. But this one thing that I know for certain. Okay. I'm going to let y'all listen to how the disparities are affecting a particular group of people and why. Of course, she's going to say it's the Trump administration, but Biden had it in his. Barack Obama had it in his. They all are cut from the same cloth. Just different colors on each side of the table. Okay? Eat the meat, spit out the bones, but she finna get to some facts in a minute. Let me make sure y'all can see it. Hold on. I'm going to let y'all listen over here. Give me uno momento. I got to start sharing it over here. Hold on. I got to make sure I share it over here. Here we go.
Specifically, even being terrible at what they're doing has still proven to be disastrous for our country. And it is, in part, the posturing and from the White House and the president. That is stuff that validates and excites the worst bigots in the country, and that is consequential. But it's more than that, too. We are now about 16 months into what has been from day one a concerted and intense targeting of Black Americans, specifically by this president and by this administration. On his first full day in office, he proclaims war on diversity efforts, not only in government, but in any institution in the country over which he can exert leverage, everything from schools and universities to law firms to private businesses of every stripe. He then immediately started firing some of the highest profile Black public officials in the whole U.S. government, seemingly regardless of any other thing about them. I mean, right away, we get the firing of the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Charles C.Q. Brown. We get the firing of the Librarian of Congress, Carla Hayden. And then it's Gwynne Wilcox from the National Labor Relations Board. And then it's Robert Primus, the chair of the Surface Transportation Board. And then it's Alvin Brown from the NTSB. And then it's Peggy Carr, the head of the National Center for Education Statistics. And then it's Willie Phillips from FERC, from the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. And then it's Lisa Cook from the Federal Reserve Board of Governors, and on and on and on. When Trump and his top political donor, Elon Musk, then started just lopping off huge swaths of the federal government to disastrous practical effect, the largest and most egregious cuts targeted federal agencies that employed a disproportionate number of Black employees. Reporter Erica Green wrote about this a few months ago for The Times, noting that nothing had moved backwards in the federal government for Black Americans this quickly or this far in over 100 years. Since Woodrow Wilson came in 1912 and resegregated the federal workforce. Quote, Black employees were fired or demoted to lower level jobs, relegated to separate and inferior lunchrooms and other facilities, and accused of making white women feel unsafe. Those who remained were humiliated. A Black worker in the Postal Service was surrounded by screens so white workers would not have to look at him. Another employee had a cage built around him to separate him from his white counterparts. A clerk in the Treasury Secretary's office was assigned to rewrite all correspondence to address Black employees by their first names. The way Trump addressed the Librarian of Congress, Carla Hayden, by her first name when he crowed publicly about firing her for no reason. In the year of our Lord, 2025, and now 2026, this president and this administration is not just inheriting that history from the Wilson administration, it's furthering it in its own ways. Since 1965, there has been an executive order in effect. It was signed by Lyndon Johnson, 1965. Since 1965, all federal contractors have been banned by executive order from discriminating on the basis of race, color, religion, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, or national origin. Donald Trump rescinded that 1965 rule on his first full day in office. Less than a month later, Trump announced another rule change. They rescinded Clause 52.222-21 of the Federal Acquisition Regulation, which doesn't sound like much, but I'll tell you what the title of that is. It's Prohibition of Segregated Facilities. That's what Trump rescinded less than 1 month into being back in the White House. That section reads, quote, the contractor agrees that it does not and will not maintain or provide for its employees any segregated facilities at any of its establishments, and that it does not and will not permit its employees to perform their services at any location under its control where segregated facilities are maintained. That anti-segregation clause has been in government contracts for decades. Donald Trump overtly reached out to rescind it, which means bluntly that the federal government no longer explicitly prohibits contractors from having segregated restaurants, waiting rooms, and drinking fountains. Make America great again, right? Recently fired and sidelined employees in the Department of Housing and Urban Development have started sounding the alarm that the Trump administration is no longer, just bluntly, no longer enforcing a federal law known as the Fair Housing Act. Fair Housing Act, another pillar of the civil rights movements and its achievements. The Fair Housing Act dates to 1968. It says you can't refuse to rent to someone or refuse to sell a house to someone on account of their race or their color or religion or national origin or any other factor against which we're supposed to be protected from discrimination. According to current and former employees of the Department of Housing and Urban Development under Donald Trump, they have dropped enforcement of the Federal Housing Act. In Trump's first year back in office, Black unemployment spiked in this country from 6.2% all the way up to 7.5%, making it the highest of all racial groups. Under Joe Biden, Black unemployment had been at a record low of 4.8%.
Still too high.
Spiking now under Donald Trump.
The
Trump administration, generally speaking, is bad at its work. It is bad at what it sets its mind to in all sorts of ways. But Black Americans, African Americans, have been targeted by this administration in a concerted way that has nevertheless been devastating, even though the Trump administration isn't good at anything they set their mind to. And that was all before the conservative majority on the U.S. Supreme Court, including all of Trump's appointees, voted to effectively end the Voting Rights Act a few days ago. As soon as the court said they would take up that case, people started mapping the worst case scenario for what Trump and the Republicans would do, particularly in the South, if the court gutted the Voting Rights Act of 1965, the crowning achievement of the civil rights movement. And the before and after looks like the snapback after the end of Reconstruction, after the Civil War. I mean, look at the state of Louisiana there. A third of the population of Louisiana is Black. Louisiana's Republican governor canceled congressional elections that are already underway in that state to rush through new maps that will presumably make sure that even though 1/3 of the population of that state is Black, there will be no Black representation in Congress for Louisiana at all. South Carolina, 1/4 of the population is Black. They have one majority-minority district represented by an African-American Democrat, Jim Clyburn. They are going to try to get rid of that one Black district so that South Carolina is all white, all Republican in representation, while 1/4 of the people who live in that state are Black. In Tennessee, 1 in 6 residents is Black. Republicans now want to make sure all 9 congressional seats in Tennessee are white. All 9 of them. They want it to be 9-0, white and Republican. And 1 in 6 people in that state is Black. In her dissent from the majority ruling, Justice Elena Kagan said it will likely cause the largest reduction to minority representation since the end of Reconstruction. She probably didn't need to use the word likely there. The war on Black Americans that is being waged by this president and this Republican Party is one of the only things they have put their mind to in this past year that they've actually done pretty well at. A comprehensive attack on Black public officials and Black public power. A comprehensive attack on Black public officials in the federal government, Black employees in the federal government, Black representatives in Congress, and now all around the country, where everywhere Republicans are in charge, they are scrambling to make sure that Black public officials can no longer hold office. We're going to talk tonight about the pushback against that and the strategies to make them pay for it, both in Louisiana, which is ground zero here, and around the country. We're going to talk tonight about some surprising pushback from churches and the clergy. We're going to talk tonight about a blistering takedown of Trump and the administration in federal court in Washington in a most unexpected case. But big picture here, we are in the middle of something really radical in this country, not just to get rid of our constitutional republic, to replace our form of government with something else, but to get rid of the multiracial democracy that our Constitution is supposed to protect. It is a war on Black America.
Hold on. Y'all paying attention? Is y'all paying attention? Let me know in the chat. Because why I had to take Rachel Maddow, a Caucasian or Hispanic woman, to tell you what Dr. T been saying for a cool minute. Elon Musk is suing so his grok can discriminate against Black people when it comes to hiring for certain professional jobs. I'm gonna show y'all one more. Let me get to it real quick. I have a problem with that. When I see them coming for you, I have a problem. No matter how much y'all piss me off, no matter how much y'all stagnated, look, I'm going to tell you what it is, and you get to do whatever you want to do with that. You're not going to be able to have a job. It's been over 500,000 Black men who have lost their jobs in the last 3 months. I believe they said it was 30,000 Black women who lost their jobs in the last month, and they want to label it as they're walking away from the workforce, when that is not even nowhere near the truth. What, they walking away from the workforce and they just ain't got nothing? When I tell you California is a trip, there is no health care services for anybody. I'm telling you, the fraud and the scamming that this state has gotten away with and have allowed these foreigners, which I have no problem with, but when you start coming and take the resources away from the people who's been benefiting from them for a very long time and who needs them because of that racial wealth gap, I have a problem. Because what my people gonna do? Who gonna stand up for my people? I might as well be one, because it ain't it. No. Do what you want, say what you want, call it what you want. No. It's not on my watch, man. It's one thing that I do know. Not on my watch. Want to share this last one with you right here? Because I told y'all this too. I've been begging y'all to get y'all credit together. And it's been absolutely crazy that somebody got to beg you to get your credit together. If you ever had a dream of buying a home, just count it out. You might as well buy you some land and build your own home, because that is the only way you're going to be able to buy a house moving forward. Home buying advances into new era of credit score competition. They're not using your FICO score no more. They're using the FICO 10T. This is where it's going to hurt a lot of people. They say this is a way to bridge the gap between normal, regular Joes being able to afford and buy a house. People with bad credit, people in low income communities will be able to now buy a house. Up until you see what the FICO 10T model is all about. This is going to kill your credit score. It's going to check your rental history. Your credit score is going to be based off of your rental history. It's going to be based off of those buy now, pay later, Affirm, Klarna, okay? Off of those things. Let me let you hear it from the horsey mouth. But I wanted you to see it first, okay? Home buying advances into new era of credit score competition. I told y'all. And before I share that video, I want to say this. They are stopping giving regular smuggler consumers like you and I lending from the bank. Okay? If you're a consumer, if we are consumers, then the banking regulations have been tightened for us to be able to go in there and get funding. Only way you can go in and get funding is if you are a business. And I have been preaching that from the mountaintops to go get your LLC and an EIN. They don't want to lend to consumers anymore because of the financial turmoil that America is in. It's too risky. They don't even want to use whether you got good credit or not. No, they're tightening the lending requirements to just solely be able to fund businesses. Y'all is waiting too late. And I told y'all this. You had a really, really, really fair advantage to get ahead. When I first started telling y'all this, I have been telling y'all this for the longest. Too long enough to even count. I have come by here over and over. Cousins, let's go get this EIN, LLC. Let's go get this bankroll. Cousins, let's go over here and sweep our credit. This is our only shot. We've been in debt and in bondage with this credit all of our life. Use the sweep. Sweep your credit clean. Get it together fast while you can. Now, TransUnion is now implementing a software system that will track if you're using a sweep, because they say, I think 1.7 million people got out of debt using a sweep just last year. Whenever we start showing up in groves, they're going to change the rules. I say that all the time. So when I'm bringing you something over here to you, when I'm bringing you an opportunity, trust and believe it is still bottom level. It is still basement level. It hasn't arrived to the first, second, and third floor, meaning you can come in and get some before it gets way too oversaturated and they start changing the rules. Okay? Hold on, let me shut my son's phone off. Okay, my bad. So that's the thing too. You're either on board right now and you got to move right now real fast, accelerated, you need something working for you accelerated right now real fast, or you is ASS'd out. Those are just the only realities. For most people, they have waited absolutely too late. They let fear paralyze them, procrastination stagnate them, trying to do the old method and the old ways, old methodologies of traditional things that we have been accustomed to. Meanwhile, the world is shifting before your very eyes and you still trying to do something the old way. That's just like you back in the Flintstone days trying to pick up a car and walk with your feet, when you have a car that actually is autonomous and will drive you to your destination. Especially when you have a car that will drive you now to your destination, you still trying to take the old route. Come on, y'all. Your feet black yet? Is it tired? We got to stop this. Yes, it is available. It's going to be available on this live. When I come and present opportunities to you, it is not for me to sell something. I can sell a lot of things. I come on here and demonstrate a lot of things that I can sell. So you know I can sell coloring books, all kinds of stuff. I can sell that. But when I come by here and offer you opportunities, it's strategic. Let's get in the government space. Let's take the contracts. That is a legal binding contract. Now this man is trying to exclude a group of people, but there's a workaround and you got to know the workaround. Why aren't you getting all these contracts that these evildoers are getting and using against us? When we can go and take a group of people, it ain't even got to be thousands. We don't even got to like contracting, so what? We need to be able, if you can go in and get a contract for $1 million, and we can get on a project to get a contract for $10 million, and you get a piece of it, and I get a piece of it, and they get a piece of it, and they get a piece of it. Listen, we won't have to worry about buying homes and renting. This is going to affect not just buying homes, renting. How many of y'all did buy now, pay later? They made it look real good. They always dangle that carrot. Look, buy now, pay later. And people start jipping them people, ripping them off and running off on them. Now this will be your new credit score. Your rental history, your utilities, your cell phones. Do you know how many of us that had cell phones in our names and in our children's names, in our mama's names, oh my, CPNs? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I said it from the get-go. The best thing that you can ever do, I don't care what you do, take your whole dang on income tax check. Fix your credit. Because you're going to be locked out of a system. All because you failed. Because what your credit report says is you're not responsible to handle money. You're in debt. This will be the new credit model that I told y'all about last year when Donald Trump said it. Now, Freddie Mae, Fannie Mae, a lot of these people that own the apartment complex is like BlackRock. These are the Wall Street cats that came in and bought up all these properties and complexes. I run with them. Grant Cardone. I run with them. I know where the real estate deals is at. I know where they building at. I know what they're doing. These investors are coming in and they are taking up these properties so they can discriminate who they want in their places. And I'll tell you something right now. This is why when you go look for a new place to stay, they ask you for a 700 credit score. You are already disqualified. They ask you for 3 times the amount of the rent. You are already disqualified. And they're not even just looking for no evictions. They're looking to see if you paid your utility bills. It took me November, December, January. It took me almost 60 days to find a place for my daughter. Did I just say? To find a place, okay? Almost 60 days. And that was the income barrier. If you want any type of welfare or something, you don't qualify. If you want any type of government assistance, where they're not going to say, well, you get Social Security, so we'll lower the standard for you. No, if you're not making 3 times the amount of rent, who is making 3 times the amount of rent in 2026? Who? That already lets you know you ASS out. And now they're discriminating. I told y'all, create your own income systems. Buy your own land, build your own houses. So now you can't even buy a house. Now you're going to have a hard time renting because you didn't want to take action. I don't care what sacrifice you had to make. You should be making it. Because the sacrifices that you are making is not for today, it's for tomorrow. See, today has enough worries and evil of its own. But what about tomorrow? Your investments is not for today. Your paycheck is for today. Your investments is for your security for later on down the line. When you go plant a orange seed, you don't get an orange tree overnight. It's for the harvest later on. I planted the seed. I bought the seeds. Yeah, it sacrificed. It took me money to go buy the seeds, but I planted the seeds, and look at all the trees I got from the seeds I planted. Planted 1, 2, 3, 5 seeds, and I got, a tree that has 1,500 oranges on it every year, over and over and over and over again. So I can eat. If ain't no food, I can eat. If they closing out all these grocery stores, where are you? What food is you finna eat? 7,900 grocery stores are closing in 2026. Started in May. We in May. Started in May, 1,200 and already announced their closures. Why is you closing down grocery stores and the population is getting bigger? What are we supposed to eat? It's too much control. It's too much control. Too much control, biometric surveillance. You got to have kill switches in all of your vehicle 2026 and above. There have to be kill switches. There not only have to be kill switches in all 2026 models and above, there have to be surveillance, biometric tracking inside of your vehicles. Why? If you make a certain movement, if you driving distracted, eating, popping your hands or something, your vehicle will be automatically disabled. Control. And who you give the power to feed you, you gave them the power to starve you. They taking the jobs. They're taking the jobs. Restructuring you right on out of the way. Why do we need you at working Amazon on the production line? We now have robots. Goodbye. Thank you. It has always been that way, and that's what burns me to pieces. Why do we let people do this? What is wrong with us? I can't even be mad at them. What is wrong with us? That is a question I ask God a lot frequently. What is wrong with us? Do y'all mind if I share something with y'all real quick? This is from a Caucasian man. This really blessed my heart. And you ain't got to listen to the whole thing, okay? I'm going to go over the opportunities with y'all that I got for y'all at discounted prices. I give it to you at a discounted price. I'm not going to give it to you for free. It costed me. Everything that I give for free is for you to take the information and go execute. But these opportunities that will help you get there faster, I'm not going to give them to you for free. I want you to get into the habit of investing because you are the best investment. If you took $100 today and turned that into $1,000 3 months from now, and then take that $1,000 and turn it into $10,000 3 months from now, and take that 10,000 and turn it into 50,000 3 months from now, and took that 50,000 and turn it into 100,000 3 months from now. Within 12 months, you would have $100,000 just from investing in yourself. I want y'all to hear this. Let me find this. This blessed my heart, and to read the comments really blessed my heart because I know this for a fact. And this is why I'm so hard, and I love my people. There's nothing that I can do about that. This is why I have unexplainable love, because I know who we are. This is not something no preacher, man, and this ain't no shout, no diss to no preacher. Did no preacher teach me who I was? When you know who you are, you walk in that. You refuse to be anything else other than that. No racism exists to me because I know who I am. If I still had the poverty, oh, woe is me, I'm a black person, you the master, get the hell out of here with that. And I don't got to be ignorant to show you, baby. If you got rich through government contracts, so can I. And what you did for your children, I can do for mine. I just need to know the juice. I just need to know how to do it. There ain't no disparages between you and I. I just need the information. Access to the information will change your life. I want y'all to hear this real quick. And like I said, I'm not going to play a whole lot of it, but I am going to, let me go to my history. Hold on. But I am going to play enough of it, maybe like 4 or 5 minutes. Okay. Because I want y'all to hear this man. Okay, this is all from today. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Let me rewind it back. Y'all just gonna have to hear it over here, but I want you to hear it. Okay? I want you to hear it. I'm just waiting on it to open up and generate. Let me stop the share over there. And then I'm going to take myself off screen because it starts lagging whenever I guess so much data is being used to show it to you guys. It starts lagging on me. So, all right, here we go. I'm going to let y'all hear it, okay? Here we go.
Folks around Savannah just call me Bobby. I'm 59 years old, a farmer by trade and by blood, and I'm sitting here today on April 14th, 2026, because I have a debt to pay to the truth. 5 days ago, on Thursday, April 9th, my heart stopped for 7 minutes and 43 seconds. The paramedics told my granddaughter Emma that I was gone. I'd been pinned under my old Massey Ferguson tractor for nearly 20 minutes before they found me. My chest was crushed and the life just leaked out of me right there in the red dirt. But while they were working on my cold body, I was standing face to face with Jesus Christ. To understand why this shook me so hard, you have to know how I was feeling right before that tractor flipped. I was out in the north pasture trying to clear some stubborn stumps. sun was hot for April, and I was feeling every bit of my age. I was thinking about the bills, thinking about the price of diesel, and honestly, I was feeling a bit bitter about how much the world had changed since I was a boy. I liked the old ways. I liked when things were simple and everyone knew their place. I'd spent my whole life on this patch of Georgia dirt, and I thought I knew everything there was to know about what was right and what was wrong. I thought I was a good man because I worked hard and kept my nose clean. I didn't think I had a hateful bone in my body, even if I preferred to stay among my own kind. Then the ground gave way. It happened so fast. 1 second I was shifting gears, and the next, the world was upside down. That heavy iron frame came down right across my chest. I remember the sound of my own ribs snapping. It sounded like dry kindling breaking over a knee. I remember the smell of the spilled oil mixing with the damp earth. I tried to scream, but there was no air left in me. Everything went gray, then black. But then it didn't stay black. I felt myself rise up. It was the strangest thing, like stepping out of a heavy, wet coat on a cold day. I looked down and saw my boots sticking out from under the tractor. I saw my old dog, Buster, barking and circling the wreck. I saw Emma running across the field, her face white as a sheet, screaming for me. I wanted to tell her I was right there, that I wasn't hurting anymore, but I was being pulled away. It wasn't a scary pull. It was like the tide taking a piece of driftwood out to sea. I entered into a light that made the Georgia sun look like a candle flame. It was warm, and it felt like it was made of pure love. I moved through a space that felt like a tunnel, though it had no walls. On either side, I saw faces. I saw my wife, Sarah. She'd been gone for 3 years, and seeing her almost stopped me in my tracks. She looked young again, her eyes bright and her smile wide. She didn't say a word, but I felt her joy. I saw my mama and my daddy and my old uncles. They were all there, part of a great cloud of people, all of them glowing with a peace I'd never known on earth. But then the light got even brighter, and the crowd of people parted. That's when I saw him. He was standing there waiting for me. He wasn't some distant king on a throne. He looked like a man who knew what it was to work under the sun. His skin was deep bronze, a rich, dark olive color that was beautiful and strong. His hair was dark and curly, and his eyes, Lord, his eyes were like deep wells of living water. When he looked at me, I felt every lie I'd ever told myself just melt away. I felt the pride of being a good traditional man crumble into dust. I fell to my knees, not because he told me to, but because my soul knew its maker. "Bobby," he said. His voice was more beautiful than any music I'd ever heard. It had the strength of a thunderstorm and the sweetness of a mother's lullaby. "Get up, son. We have a long walk to take." He reached out and took my hand. His hand was rough, just like mine, with the marks of hard work and the scars of his sacrifice. He pulled me up, and suddenly, the beautiful light around us began to shift. We weren't just standing in heaven anymore. He was taking me on a journey through time and spirit. "I am going to show you the truth of my children," Jesus said to me. "The ones you looked past, the ones your people built walls against. You need to see them as I see them, Bobby. You need to understand the weight of what has been done and the strength of the spirit I put inside them." The first thing he showed me was a land I'd never seen before. It was a place of great beauty with wide rivers and tall trees and mountains that touched the sky. I saw people, thousands of them, living in great cities and small villages. They were black, but they weren't the way I'd been taught to think of them. They were kings and queens, scholars and builders. I saw them carving intricate things out of wood and stone, studying the stars and singing songs that made the very air vibrate with joy. "This is where they began," Jesus said. "Long before the chains, they were mine. I walked with them in these forests. I spoke to their hearts in the quiet of the night. They knew my voice before your people ever heard of this land. I gave them a spirit of deep wisdom and a capacity for joy that was meant to bless the whole world." I watched as families sat around fires, elders teaching the young ones about honor and God. I saw a mother nursing her babe, looking down with a love so pure it made my chest ache. I saw a community that took care of its own, where no one was left behind. It was a world of dignity and grace. But then the air grew cold. A shadow began to creep across the coast. I saw ships appearing on the horizon, large wooden ships with white sails. They looked like birds of prey coming to feast. I saw men who looked like me stepping off those ships. They carried guns and chains. They didn't see the beauty I was seeing. They didn't see the wisdom or the dignity. They only saw things to be taken. They saw property. Jesus gripped my shoulder tight. Look, Bobby, look at what was done in the name of profit, and sometimes even in my name. I saw the raids. I saw the terror in the eyes of fathers as they were torn away from their wives. I saw children being snatched from their mother's arms, their tiny hands reaching out as they were dragged toward the shore. I heard the screams, a sound so sharp it felt like a knife in my heart. I saw these people, my brothers and sisters, though I'd never called them that, being herded into those ships like cattle. The vision moved inside the ship. It was a place of such darkness and filth that I wanted to vomit. Men and women were packed together so tight they couldn't even turn over. I felt the heat, the smell of sickness, and the overwhelming weight of despair. But Jesus was right there in the middle of it. I saw him crouching down in that filth, holding the hand of a young man who was dying of a fever. I saw him whispering peace to a woman who had lost her mind from the grief of losing her babies. I was in the hull of every ship, Jesus said, his voice shaking with a holy anger. Every lash of the whip I felt, every cry of the mother I heard. The enemy thought he could break the spirit I gave them by treating them as less than human. He used the greed and the pride of your ancestors to try and snuff out the light I put in them. But look, Bobby, look at what the enemy couldn't touch. He showed me a group of men chained together on the deck. They were singing. It wasn't a song I knew, but I could feel the power of it. It was a song of defiance, a song of hope that went beyond the physical world. It was a sound that reached up to heaven and shook the very foundations of the ship. They found me in the dark, Jesus said. When the world tried to tell them they were nothing, I told them they were mine. I gave them a song that the chains couldn't silence. I gave them a faith that was forged in the fire of suffering, a faith that was stronger than the iron that bound them. The vision shifted again. We were standing in the middle of a vast field of white cotton. The sun was a hammer, beating down on the backs of hundreds of people. I saw the overseers on their horses held their whips cracking like gunshots. I saw the exhaustion, the blood on the cotton bolls, and the long, weary hours of labor that never ended. I saw a woman, her back scarred from previous beatings, leaning over her row. She was humming a tune. As she moved, the person in the next row picked it up, then another. Soon, the whole field was vibrating with a low, steady sound. It was a prayer. They were talking to God right under the noses of their masters. They were building a country that would never love them back, Jesus said. They were laying the bricks of cities they wouldn't be allowed to live in. They were planting the seeds for a harvest they wouldn't be allowed to eat. And yet they kept their eyes on me. While the men in the big houses were using my words to justify their cruelty, these people were living my words in the dirt. He showed me a secret meeting in the woods at night. They called them brush arbors. I saw people slipping away from their cabins, moving through the swamps and the shadows to gather under the trees. They didn't have a church building with a steeple. They didn't have fancy robes or a choir. They had a stump for a pulpit and the moon for a light. I watched a man, tall and thin, with hands that were calloused and cracked, stand up and speak. He didn't read from a book because he wasn't allowed to learn how to read, but he spoke the truth from his soul. He talked about Moses and the Red Sea. He talked about Jesus and the cross. He talked about a day when every chain would be broken and every tear wiped away. This is the real church, Jesus whispered. This is where the flames stayed alive. While the white churches were preaching about order and submission, these people were preaching about freedom and love. They understood the heart of my gospel better than the ones who owned the Bibles. They knew that I am the God who sets the captives free.
I know I said 5 minutes, but that video is so powerful because it lets you know from a spiritual perspective how much God loves us. I know this for a fact. I have had YT people come up to me and repent to me for the oppression of our ancestors for no reason. I didn't even know. I'm a babe in this walk. And with tears, like, I am so sorry. And that caused me to go and look. Who are we? Where did we come from? I know this ain't always been our portion. And I was blessed to get my hands on a book called From Babylon to Timbuktu and started finding out about Mamusa, how he was very wealthy and gave all of his brethren gold, how we walked on gold, how the hieroglyphics actually describe us in the images. Now we had some history. And then I began to read the word and see who the people God was talking to, which are the same people God is talking to this very day. And we're missing what he's saying. We're missing the opportunities that he has given us. I'll say this and then I'll give y'all the opportunities I have for y'all. If you didn't know, the first ship to arrive on this American soil, okay, was August 25th or 26th of 1619. They declared COVID an actual pandemic March or either May. It was one of the M months, March or either May. I want to say March. But in 2019, the 400 years of our oppression was over with, according to what God said. He told Moses way back then, your people gonna go back into bondage, but this time it ain't gonna be no physical Egypt. It's gonna be a spiritual one, and they're gonna go by way of ship. For 400 years, they will stay in that condition. That's why I'm not mad at white people at all. I'm not mad at them. You did your job, and you only got away with what you got away with because God allowed you to do it, to provoke us to turn back to him, his chosen people. I don't care who don't like that. I didn't say it, take it up with God. He's a very distinct God. I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Very distinct. If my people, not the whole world. You got to go look up what if my people mean. It means a tribe of people. Specifically Judah. For the Negro, you are Judah. And that's why Jesus Christ is the Lion of the tribe of Judah. He could have been the Lion of Manasseh. He could have been the Lion of Ephraim. He could have been the Lion of anybody, but he is the Lion of the tribe of Judah. You got to go look up who is the tribe of Judah. He is the same God yesterday, today, and forevermore. And he's trying to get something to his people. His words say the first will be last and the last will be first. It is literally our time and we are missing it. Still trying to be bound by these systems. These very systems that you just heard this white man give his account, his experience on how he harmed himself, hurt himself accidentally, of course, and had this outer body experience. And God himself had to reveal to him who black people were to God. Because when we say it to each other, we don't believe it. But God is putting us in a position where we don't have to rely on this oppressive Babylonian pharaohic system. If you want liberty, you can have liberty. The problem is we're not moving when he says move and how we say move. Every opportunity that I offer is not just some random opportunity. It's to put you in a different position. the position that God wants us in, standing straight upwards. For 400 years, we have been oppressed and controlled and ruled by a system. And that is why we have always been underneath, the bottom of the barrel, the last to be helped. This is the reason why. This is why their systems is able to oppress us and steal from us. The bank can now steal your money. Don't go to the bank and have $10,000 in your bank account and ask to withdraw your own $10,000, your $15,000. Go try it. Now you have to give a report what you want to spend your money for, why you want to send it there. Yeah, we don't agree with that. We don't approve that, so we're not going to send it. We have given them too much power where we can't even get on their platforms and say what we have a freedom of law, a freedom of speech to say. We can't say that. Since we don't own any of these payment processor systems, right? Right now, PayPal is holding revenue from me that rolls over until they feel like, okay, we'll release it. You want to know why? Because I got a $50,000 deposit from an investment opportunity that I went in on with some other investors. I told y'all, I am a licensee of Grant Cardone, okay? This is how I got into the real estate. This is how I got into the land banking space, because I'm a licensee of him. I'm in his masterminds, okay? I paid to get there to know what kind of property to go after, A, B, C class, to know how to do this whole thing, to raise capital. I had to pay a lot of money to get that information. So now they see this little brown girl coming up over here trying to receive payments and deposits in the hundreds of thousands. And now, oh, we want to hold your resources in our reserves. What is a reserve? Only reserve I know is a Federal Reserve. So what reserve would you have to hold my money to protect my money from me? That doesn't even make sense. And then you turn around and you say, okay, forget PayPal. I'm going to go over here to this other system. And now they start seeing you, wait a minute, Negro, you bringing in too much money. What you doing? Oh, we're going to shut your movement down, because if you ain't got money, you can't move. Because money answers all things. I've had my Cash App for so long and doing business in Cash App for so long that my monthly spend or send amount was $25,000. Hey, we need to lower that down to $7,000 for the whole month. You want to know why? Because I'm doing investment opportunities with other brothers and sisters. So now these platforms, these systems, now they're getting ready to tell us when we can't drive, how much oil we can use. Hey, you driving too much. You need to, I showed y'all this. They're now getting ready to reduce your work week to 3 days at home mandatory. How you going to make up for that? If you ain't got nothing in place, how you going to make up for that? If you relying on your muscles and your time to make you money, how you going to make up for that when you can't move? I just literally showed you this. This is not coming from me. This is coming from them. This is coming from the president. They showing you what they doing to a particular group of people, and we are missing it. We are pussyfooting around. We like our bondage. We like our chain. There's no other logic, explanation of why we are seeing what has happened to us for generations and we're not moving as a unit. Sure, one can go do it. I've done it. But if we take 12, 24, 46, 100, then that's 100 people that is doing the same thing. And now we have more. If I go get $1 million, I just got $1 million. But if I take 12 people to go get $1 million, we got 12 million. Do the math. We have more to work with. You do the math. But people are afraid to invest in themselves. And before you know it, before long, you will be halted. You will be ASS'd out. Nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. When you know your identity, then you can move correctly. When you know who you are, then you can move in that authority that I know who I am and I cannot be denied. This probably gonna ruffle some people's feathers, but why do you think they went to the degrees to hide his image of who Christ is? Bible describes his looks a certain way, and then we got another picture saying that he looked this way. And then when you find out the truth, they tell you it doesn't matter anyway. If it did not matter, why did you go to such great lengths to change his hair texture, to change his skin color, so we don't know our identity and they can keep us in a bent over, bang you in your butt with no Vaseline position? And God is saying, time out. Do you know we are so powerful? Let me just give you this one scripture to let you know how powerful we are. And people probably didn't heard it, okay? If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, turn from their wicked ways, seek my face, then I will hear from heaven. I will forgive their sins, and I will heal their land. Do you think that's talking about America land? Do you think that that's talking about Israel land? No, it's not. Right up above that passage of scripture, if my people, why he just didn't say all the world? If the whole world would come to me and repent, then I would change. Why he just say my people? He's talking to a tribe of people. This is how powerful we are. Because right up above that scripture, it says, if you see a famine coming, that I sent. So God is trying to get us our attention through affliction, because that's the only way we learn. If you see that I have caused a famine and there is no food, if you see that I have caused the sword and you see bloodshed, if you see that I have caused a drought and there is no way to grow crops and all of that stuff, if you see that I have caused this, because I am in control of this, if you see that I have caused this, whether I allow the evil man to do it to you or I did it myself, if you see that I have caused this, if my people who are called by my name, when you see that, if my people would gather themselves together and repent for their evil ways and their idolatry and being dependent upon man and not upon me, then I will hear from heaven and I will forgive your sins and heal your land. Everything in your life will be different. Everything in your generations will be different. You will go from bottom to top overnight. Why do y'all think that they always come for us first? Y'all got to listen at this. And if you white on here tonight, okay, or today, or this afternoon, whatever time you are listening from, wherever you listening at, this is some truth that'll set you free too. Because this is scripture. This is not me sitting over here telling you something. No, this is scripture. 1000%. Go argue with God. All is not the children of God, but all is the creation of God. All is not the children of God. My sheep know my voice, and a stranger they will not follow. My children know me. I don't care how far they go. If I call them, they know my voice, and they're going to come on back. Okay? But all are not my children. Some of you are of your father, the devil. That's what the scriptures say. All are the creation of the Most High God, but not all are the children of the Most High God. And the number one people that God has been calling for generations have been us black folk. Why do you think everybody else gets to use us and profit from us and we don't? If we were just poor, cursed black people, homeless, vagabonded people, why do you have to come into our neighborhoods? Why do the Asians come into our poor hoods and get filthy rich and send it back to their countries? Why do they have to use our faces on rice-a-roni and on Aunt Jemima pancakes? Why do they have to use our faces on perm boxes? Why do they have to use our art and our ability to rap and sing and dance and praise? It's a gift God gave to us to get us through the furnace. Why do they got to use that in all their commercials? Kroger, everything that you got, dentists, they just bob in their head. Okay, why? Why do everybody got to have these big old fat black lips that they used to criticize? And these big old fat Sarah Bartman booties that they used to make fun of? Why? Why do they get to use us for everything? Why can't they votes go the right way and lessen black people vote? Why? Why won't they jabs work unless black people first partake in them? Why? Why are we always the first to get hit and the last to get help? Why? Why haven't they not gave us what God gave to us, which is land and oxen? 40 acres and a mill. Why would they not give us that? Because they know land equals wealth. That's why you ain't got your 40 acres. And they know oxens reproduce, which is multiplication. Wealth multiplied. Why won't they give you your 40 acres and a mill? Just got to think about this, brothers and sisters. Hate to go church, but I'm a kingdom baby, okay? I'm going to always tell you the truth. And everything is spiritual. Everything. A lot of our people is mad at God, so they try to go to witchcraft and they try to go to everything else. Well, why would God allow us to go through this? No, we went through this ourselves. Go read the good book. We had it made. From the beginning of the garden, Adam wanted to be God. That's why they partook of that fruit that he said don't partake of. He said don't go marrying no Egyptians, and we married Egyptians. He said don't go whoring after their idols, and we start building altars. When he delivered us the first time, we're going to turn around and say it was better for us over there in Egypt than for you to bring us to the wilderness to take us to the promised land. And then when we got through and you did this great old miracle and you drowned our enemies in the Red Sea, when we crossed over to the Red Sea, we took all the gold and all the silver that you gave us to leave fully loaded with, and we start making golden calves and talking about this is the thing that brought us out. We have always been rebellious, hard-headed, whoring, idolizing people, looking for God in all other ways and places, and that has been the destruction of our own selves. We can't be mad at God. Be mad at God for what? Learn how to serve me so you can obey me. And if you do this, Deuteronomy 28, then you will be the head and not the tail. You will be above only and not beneath. You will be the first and not the last. You will be blessed in going and coming. You will be blessed in your storehouses. Everything about you will be blessed if you listen and do all that I have asked you to do. We don't want to do all that he has asked us to do. We want to do the opposite. So if you do the opposite of what I tell you to do, then cursed will you be in your womb. Cursed will your cattle be. Cursed will your ground be. You will be the tail and not the head. You will be last and not the first. This has been our life and the history behind it because of rebellion. And if God is calling on us right now, we rebel by saying, no, I don't even want to get into that. I don't want to do that. You thinking it's about you, and God is trying to save generations through you. You thinking it's about you. Well, you just, that's my money. That's not your money. How much money were you born with? And how much of it will you die with? Hello, somebody. I will wait. How much was you born with? And how much will you buy with? Can your house fit in your casket? Because you're going back to the dirt where you came from. Could your vehicle go with you to your casket? Or will a fool get your possessions that you worked so hard for, that you were so hell-bent on, and then tear yourself up in a matter of moments? Your family is left fighting over the little bit of crumbs that you left them, on top of all the debt and your bad credit that you left them. And you thinking you being a parent and a role model. Get out of here with that. No. They can't inherit your jobs and your rental properties. They can't inherit your bundles and your J's. They can't inherit your leased vehicles. There's nothing for you to leave as a legacy or hand up. Hey, when I'm gone, keep it going and hand your kids up so we never go down. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? I just felt led to say that because I'm never afraid or ashamed of the truth. The truth makes you free. And this is what people are missing. They profess, especially us Black people, we profess to have higher power, but we the poorest in our decisions, poorest in our health, poorest in our finances. We full of the power, full of the spirit. I can prophesy. I can preach. Back up, devil. I'm loaded. But you can't even cast a debt out. Bible say, oh no man, nothing but to love them. The wicked borrow and don't repay. And that a borrower is a slave to the lender. So there you have it. If we in debt, we slaves. Why wouldn't you fix your credit? I don't know about your God, but my God is real raw and uncut. When he tell me to worship him in spirit and in truth, he keeps it real with me. And I love that. So why are you asking me for $1 million and you got bad credit? You misrepresented me. I'm not giving you no $1 million. You can't even pay back that debt that you owe the medical bills. Them speedy loan cash payments. You can't pay that back. And you ask me for $1 million. How am I trust you with my wealth and you can't handle mammon? I don't think so. See, I think people come by here telling y'all to get y'all credit fixed. No, it's a statement that you make. That, yeah, I'm ready for more. I'm responsible with revenue. I'm not greedy. I'm not consuming my money. You wonder why we in this situation where these people keep on being able to do this over and over. It's not their fault. I'm not mad at them. I'm not preaching about or against them. Hell no. Why would I just sit here and be, oh my God, they won't let me love. They won't let me live. They got their foot on my neck. I wish I would. You ain't no better than me. I don't care who you is. I don't care who you is. If you cut me and I cut you, we're going to bleed the same red blood. When you go to the bathroom, your boo-boo is brown unless you sick. And so is mine. When you go number one, your urine should be yellow or white. Okay? And so is mine. You got eyes. You got hands. You got 24 hours in a day. So do I. 365 in a year. So do I. We are really poor on purpose. And that's the danger about it. I cannot care no more than you. But why I show up when I'm hurting, when I'm going through, when the weight of the world is on my shoulder, when everybody in my family is relying upon me, and then I still got other people outside that I'm, leading the charge for and being an example and a representative for. I still show up because I love y'all. I don't want y'all to suffer. But I can't make you stop suffering. Only you can stop the suffering. I could just point you to the direction. If you're tired of suffering, then I got some opportunities for you that will absolutely help you pivot and get on your feet. And I'm not talking about no slave wages. Slave wages keep you bound. Why do you think they give you minimum wage? Minimum. Think about it. Why do they give you minimum wage? They can't even give you medium wage. Well, let me give you in the middle wage. Let me give you maximum wage. You only work minimum wage to them. That is slavery. When you are so valuable that God sent his only begotten son with a redemption plan to redeem you back from the hands of the devil after our forefather Adam failed so miserably. He came up with his own plan and put his own spirit in a human being and shed his blood. That's how valuable you were, that I paid for you with blood. The highest form of payment. And then told us after he did that, I became poor that you may become rich. And people think, well, that's just rich in spirit. No, that's not what that means. That's rich in substance. You're supposed to be a ruler. You a royal priesthood, a chosen generation, set apart. Okay? You are royalty. So why is you living like raggedy? That's the shift in my mind. When I was ready, my mind had to shift. Anybody that knows me, okay? Dr. T, please check your email I sent you concerning 10K Play being discontinued. The website I went to is the email that I sent as well. So if that one's discontinued, I'll just give you another one. Might be the link, no problem. You already know I'm always going to make sure that you're good. But I will check it out, okay? When I come by here and sit down with y'all, this is the only time I sit down. As soon as I end this, it's back to, okay? It's back to the grind. I got a daughter that you have to have your eyes on 25/7, not 24/7, 25/7. And then trying to teach her so that she has the valuablest outcome in life that she absolutely can. So me and my husband be teeter-tottering. We can't let her go stay at nobody's house. We can't let nobody babysit her. It's 25/7 care around the clock. Okay? On top of mentorships, all that other stuff. I always put in my description, you got to give me a couple of days, right? If I send you the automated way, then the automation just, and I have it set up. I teach you how to set it up. When I come here, I'm a servant. It's not business. If you go to my website, you pay me full price. And everything is automated. You get, okay? But when I'm offering abundance of sales and I got people watching replay, if I leave it up, or watching live or whatever the case may be, multiple platforms, Zelle, Chime, PayPal, all these different platforms so I can keep these people from trying to steal resources from me. And then I want to make sure that you are hand delivered exactly what you paid for, okay? That takes a little bit of time. So I got you. And I will check my emails. It's not that I don't want to. I have to make a time to check my emails. Real talk. Still be able to make sure I balance being a wife, being a mama. I'm a mother of 9 children, minus the 2 that are deceased. I am a grandmother of 6 children, okay? Possibly 7, I done lost count, but I got a lot going on. But I got you, okay? And I ain't going nowhere. First things first, I'm going to mention, and then I'm going to hop up off here in the next 12 minutes, okay? Fix your credit. You're going to be locked out just on a credit tip by itself. Stop playing with that. Stop playing with your future. If you can afford $97, I'm going to give you, and look, I'm going to tell you something right now. If you can afford $97, let me just tell you what I got. 4-day suite. It works on all 3 bureaus. Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. Why do we call it a suite? Why do we use a suite? The suite takes off every negative, derogatory, erroneous, and obsolete account on your report. It cleans up your personal profile. So if my name is spelled Tawanna, and they got my name spelled on my report Tawanna, or they got my name spelled Twanna, or they got my name spelled TAWNN, no A, okay? That's called misrepresented personal information. If I go to a lender, and that's what credit is supposed to be for, then they're going to be like, who's the real person? Is it Tawana? Is this the way it's spelled? Or is it Twada? This the way it's spelled? Or is it Tawan? Is this the way it's spelled? They do that on purpose. My middle initial is a J. So on my credit report, when I went to go clean up just my personal information, they had Tawana G Worlds. Or they have my maiden name, Tawana Thacker. Okay? That's not my name. I've been married for 19 years. You need to remove that because it's false, inaccurate information. If they got all 50 addresses I lived at, if I had 50 addresses listed on my credit report, then if these people feel like, oh, I need to go repossess something or take something, I got 50 addresses I got to shift through to see which one is the real one. That is a liability. I don't even want to take a risk on it. So just having your personal information misrepresented or falsely reported takes your score down 50 to 70 points just by cleaning that up. This is my name. This is the name on my license. And this is my address. Everything else must be deleted and removed. Old previous employers' jobs, I don't work there anymore. Don't have all that on my credit report. Thank you. Remove it per law. If you have late payments reporting on my consumer report, there is a law that states you have to send me a legal notification, email, by mail, 30 days in advance, letting me know in 30 days, I'm going to report this to the credit bureau as late. Nobody has received that. That is illegal. So there are laws that works for us in this sweep that have those things removed. Late payments, negative accounts, all of that. Charge off, repossessions, all of those things that are not supposed to be reported. There is a U.S. consumer law that says financial transactions cannot be reported. A car payment is a financial transaction. Rent payment is a financial transaction. Credit card is a financial transaction. Okay? Those are illegal. If something has been charged off, meaning the company that I did business with sold the debt, then why the hell is you still sweating me, putting late payments on me, and saying that I owe you money? You've been paid. And I did not receive a 1099 stating the amount that you sold my debt for. You have to remove that. The sweep removes everything that's going to keep you from being funded. Because when you go to the bank, they're looking at those things that a sweep is going to take off. Simple as that. I say sweep it so you can go get funded. So I have the 3-day sweep that works on all 3 bureaus. You can get that for $97. But I'll do you one even better. I have a 3-day sweep that works on all 3 bureaus. I have a 24-hour sweep that works on TransUnion only. Okay? It will sweep everything negative, derogatory, erroneous, and obsolete off your report in 24 hours on TransUnion only. And then I have 6 banks that you're going to go to after it's swept that only pulls from TransUnion, and you're going to get a 50 piece from each bank. 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. That's $300,000 that you are exposed to in a matter of days because you invested in yourself. Hello, somebody. So this is the reason why I do the sweep. I give you the sweep so you go get the money. Why? Because we need it. And we need to convert it into assets. It's not enough for us to have a lot of cash. To hell with the cash. We need assets. So I have a bundle. I will give you the sweep, 24-hour. I will also give you 3-day. And I will give you the $200,000 in funding blueprint. How you can go and how you can access 4 separate tabs and get $100,000 from Amex at one time. How you can go get $75,000 from Navy. Okay. How you can go get these 6 banks that pull from TransUnion only. So you can go run up that $300,000 right here. Okay. I have that. The whole entire bundle, 24-hour, 3-day on all bureaus, the 6 banks that you go to for the TransUnion suite only, and the $200K funding for all banks. All bureaus. Where if your Experian is high, go run it up on there. If your Equifax is higher, go run it up on there. If all 3 matching, go run it up in all 3 space. Go to 3 banks that pull from TransUnion on Monday. Go to 3 banks that pull from Equifax on Tuesday. Go to 3 banks that pull from Experian on Wednesday. Okay, you will have $450K in funding all day long. Okay. Then you go ahead and get my 24-hour hard inquiry removal because you're going to get an inquiry. Get the 24-hour hard inquiry removal, have the inquiry removed because nothing is being reported yet. So they can't tie that inquiry to an open account. Have it removed. Next week, go back to 3 other banks that only pull from TransUnion on Monday, 3 other banks that only pull from Equifax on Tuesday, and 3 other banks that only pull from Experian on Wednesday, and go get you another $450 piece. If you put them all together, you got $900,000 in funding because you invested and took care of your credit and got it done real fast with real results so you be able to do something like that. I have the whole entire bundle for $197. If you want that, let me know. Because you will only get that discount while we live. If not, you will pay $97 for the 4-day suite. You will pay $197 for the 24-hour suite with the 6 banks. Okay, you will pay $97 for the $200,000 funding play with the credit ebook. You can sell that stuff. Comes with it, sell it. You don't have to go and speak it and say, hey, well, let me recreate it. No, sell it just like it is. Everything that I give you, resell it. So now you have a digital product and you have money. Anybody want that? Okay. $197. Let me know in the chat. You get all of that. I don't mind putting you in a better position, but you are going to invest in yourself and you're going to get in the practice of doing that because 1 + 1 in the real world equals 2. But in the investment space, 1 + 1 equals 10. It's supposed to yield you more than you put in. It's supposed to yield you more than you put in, okay? So I'm going to move past that. If you don't want that, don't come back in 10 minutes. Somebody, I want that. It's going to be off the table. When I end this live, it is also deleted. Bottom line, okay? Just like that, you missed that opportunity. Trade line game have been really good to me. Okay, I tell you, anything that it comes to money or helping people find funding, you'll always be in a position where you have more money and you eliminate the money problem in your life. I'm helping you find money, which is your problem. I'm the solution to that problem. And because I'm helping you finding money, then I'm getting paid and eliminating my money problem. The trade line plug is changing people's lives. That does $10,000 every single month by itself. Don't got to get on camera. Don't got to do any of that. You go find a high credit limit trade line. This can go for somebody looking to get in a new place, looking to buy them a home, looking to get them a new vehicle, looking to get them a loan. Hey, you want to get access to $50,000? Yeah, I do, but my credit is 580. Cool. I can go ahead and boost your credit up about 100, 200 points. Hands down. We're going to go put this trade line on your credit. Okay? It's $35,000 credit limit. It's been open for 11 years, so 11 years of positive history is going to be added to your credit report. If you only in debt 35,000 and I go add a trade line for 35,000, you have positive history because it balances it out. You had negative 35 debt, we added 35,000 positive. Now you can go into any bank and say, "Can I get $50,000?" Well, yeah, somebody already lent you 35. That's not a problem. And you've been having it for 11 years. It's not a problem. And it's in good standing. It's not a problem. And it's under the debt to income ratio. It's not a problem. When I tell you this is changing people's lives, it's changing people's lives. I will give you the trade line plug for $97. I will give you where to go get the trade lines from. Add them to your credit. Go around in your family. Y'all got bad credit? Need to boost your score 100 points. Hey, I got this trade line I can add. You don't use your money to secure the trade line. Say they want $1,000 for that $35,000 trade line. So you tell them, I got 5 spots at 1,000 to have this $35,000 trade line added to your report within the next 7 to 10 days. And I only got 5 spots at $1,000. Right? Okay? Say they wanted it. Well, you could do it that way, but this is the right way to do it. Say they want 500 for the trade line. I say they want 1,000 for the trade line. We'll stick with that. But you say, look, I got the trade line going for 1,500. And it's 35,000, 11-year reporting history. It closes tomorrow. And in 7 to 10 days, you can get 100 to a 200 point increase on your credit score. And go get you a big bag. Go get your money right back plus some. Within 2 weeks tops, 7 to 10 days. 1,500, only 5 spots available. You paid $1,000 for the trade line to be added to them. You banked the 500. You got 5 people to sign up. It's $2,500 in one day for helping 5 people boost their score by adding the old age shelf court. If you want access to the trade line plug, where you can literally make you $10,000 a month. If I just showed you $2,500 in a day, $10,000 in a month is bare minimum. I've showed y'all receipts, $17,400 in one day from trade lines. Okay, you can build a free community. To hell with looking for marketing. Who want this? No, this is a free credit mastery community. You can get the trade line plug for $97. Let me know if y'all want that before I move on. I'm giving you access to wealth, not slave wages. I'm giving you access. That's your own funding company. Hey, the trade line is $300. I'm gonna pay $600. And not all trade lines are $1,000 at all. But I said that so that you know you can use their money to make you money. Anybody want that before we go? Okay. Anybody? Going once. Going twice. I'm only going to put y'all on to opportunities that's going to change your life real fast. So we ain't got a lot of time to wait. You cannot sit by and hear information about people trying to come towards you, come for you and your family, and you still sit by idly. Okay? If you know they're coming for your credit, fix your credit. If you know that you might not have a job, fix your credit. If you know that you ain't got enough money, but you can leverage your credit, fix your credit. And know how to fix your credit. If you know how to add trade lines and fix your credit and all of this stuff and all of that stuff, then you can help other people. And if you solve their problem, then you will never have a problem of your own in that area. Okay? Last but never least, then I'm going to end this because I said it was time to go and I wasn't telling no lie. I'm literally looking, okay, for a handful. I'll probably say maybe 5 to 12 at the max. And I'm only saying 12 because God say 12 is the government. And if we all go get $10,000, all 12 of us. Then we have 120,000. If I go by myself, I just got $10,000. All 12 of us go, we got $120,000. Okay, so this is the great exchange. I'm only going to take about 5 to 12. Honestly, if you are not scared and you are willing to invest $997 in exchange for $10,000 to $15,000 in the next 30 to 45 days, then I want to show you how to do it. And I'm going to help you get it. And that is a guarantee. You don't get you $10,000 to $15,000. I'm going to just say that bare minimum because you can get that overnight, okay? $10,000 to $15,000 in the next 30 to 45 days. And the only reason why I'm saying 30 to 45 days, because some people may take a week to get back to you, okay? Some people may say, hey, it's 14 days and that consists of 2 weeks. Not because it takes that long, but because I'm going to give myself enough room, okay, enough leverage to say in 30 to 45 days, if it doesn't happen, then you get your money back in full. I am 1,000% for certain that in the next 30 days to 45 days max or less, you will have $10,000 to $15,000 in funding that you can do whatever you want to do with it. Okay, definitely give you some ideas of investment, how to keep making that grow, but it's a guarantee that you exchange $997 for $10,000 to $15,000 within 30 to 45 days. Anybody want to take me up on that offer? Okay, this is not for me. This is for you. I know where to go get their money, and I know how to go get it. I've done it. I can do it with my eyes closed. I've not only done it, I've helped other people done it, and I brought the receipts here to you to show you. Just to February 27, 28, we helped people get $3 million in funding. It was about maybe 13 or 14 of them combined out of hundreds of people. We helped them get $3 million in funding. I've also showed you the people who was in the family of millionaires that paid $997 all got $25,000 back within 2 or 3 days. So when I say 30 to 45 days, that's just what I'm giving myself. If you do it in 5 days, and you can go back and say, hey, this woman told me 30 to 45 days and I did it in 5 days. That looks better than you saying 30 to 45 days and now it's 47, 50 days. And no, guaranteed. Okay. Or you get your money back. So it is a win-win situation for you. I'm only going to take between 5 and 12, depending on what the good Lord say. I can deal with that number. Okay. But I will definitely, absolutely, positively guarantee you will get $10,000 to $15,000 in the next amount of days if you ain't afraid to invest $997 into yourself to learn how to get it, how to do it, and how to do it fast. Any questions for me? Those are the 3 opportunities that I got for you, because those are the ones that will generate you some rapid revenue and literally start printing you money. Okay? Printing you money. Credit, whole thing, you can sell it. Prints money. Trade line, you can sell it. Prints money. Okay? Going to go get you 10 to 15K. Once you get that 10 to 15K, you're going to be like, yeah, baby, what's next? And that prints you money. You go take that 10,000 and go buy you a laundromat. And now every single month, this laundromat is doing $5,000. By month 2, you already got your 10,000 back. Month 3, you in profit, and all the rest of it. You can take that business. Hey, I'm generating $5,000 a month. Can I get a loan against the asset? Total value of it, if I'm generating $5,000 a month, then I can get anywhere from up to $200,000, to $500,000. Just generating $5,000 a month. Y'all gotta learn to play the game in order to win the game. Any questions for me before I go? Any questions for me before I go? Yes, no, maybe so. Okay. Say a prayer for me, y'all. Still out here in California. you. Time is winding down. I'm very glad when I do leave here, I won't leave empty handed. That's for sure. Everything that this state, city, whatever, has tried to do in the last 4 months, I will leave here fully loaded. That 100%. So as I pray for y'all, say a prayer for your girl, Dr. T, that everything that was hijacked, hindered, held up, whatever, will be released. Because I ain't leaving here empty-handed, 1,000%. Any questions? Nope, there's no questions. Instagram family, I love y'all. The long way, the hard way. Okay, I hope that you don't be one of them cousins that see this type of foolishness happening to you and you don't do nothing about it. I have no respect for you. Okay, not only do I have no respect for you, I have no sympathy for you. That's your problem. That's your fault that you didn't act. That is your problem because you had the time to act. When I told y'all 2 years ago that they was coming with another lockdown and that they had released these deadly viruses and claimed they went missing now in 2026, the virus that's out here killing people is one of the viruses that supposedly came up missing. You can't make this stuff up. When they say that they are discriminating against you because of your skin color and teaching and programming AI to discriminate against you because of your skin color, if they tell you you will not be able to buy a house because of your credit, and now they're about to start adding your rental payments, your utility payments, your buy now, pay later situations, you ain't gonna have no credit score. You might as well just hang it up, okay? 7,900 grocery stores going out of business this year alone, with 1,200 already shutting down in May. You already know it's going to hurt you. You already know it's going to harm you. Okay? That's one thing that I do know. Love y'all, and I will see y'all. Okay? I will see y'all whenever I have some time to come back by here, but y'all already know. The lives are different. I'm just going to forewarn you now. I came on this live to explain what the hell was going on because this was worth explaining. But these are not the type of lives that I'm doing, convincing you. You see the people, they get the information, they sit there. I'm not doing that. My lives moving forward will be opportunities. Hey, this is what's working. This is how much money you decide you set it up, whatever the case may be, however it may flow. But if you thinking you're going to hear something different, you're not. Let's not waste each other's time. If you're thinking it's going to be something different, you're going to keep hearing the same thing. Okay? Less involvement of me, more involvement in AI. I'm working with the people who wants to be worked with. Had to take a little small breather, whatever you call it, but it's gas time. It is go pedal, gas to the metal, metal to the pedal, pedal to the metal, gas, no brakes, time to build before we are ASS'd out. That being said, I love y'all. Okay? And I want you to stay in peace so you don't end up in pieces. Pray for me as I pray for you always. And until the next time, I'll see you again, friends.